I actually want to talk to you about awards season. Just make sure to keep your winter clear. We have
Okay, Matt.
Cut!
Congratulations on the show. It's so funny and feels so timely, and it's also really meta in a lot of ways. So I'm curious for you, what is it like to pitch a show to people who are actually in some of these positions that you depict in it?
And not only did we pitch it to people who live those situations, but the people we pitched, we had already made movies with before. So many of them were in these situations with us, living the experiences, and then having us pitch them the experiences they themselves were part of. But for all of them and for us, it's cathartic and fun, and it's just a delight to be able to like play with our real lives and to take the fun and the tragedy and all of it and make something cool out of it.
When one of the pitch meetings, we got someone laughing so hard they fell out of their chair.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I think that there was definitely a knowing going on during the pitch process that particular executive took all the way to the floor. They really went all the way.
I love that. What the best reception you could possibly have, chair falling. Your main ensemble works so well together in this, but I did want to specifically ask about Maya's character, because I feel like it would have been very easy to either make her like a Gen Z and have that be the route, or have her character not be able to like keep up with the slang. So I'm curious if you can talk about crafting her personality and making this decision to cast Kathryn Hahn in that role.
A big thing we always have to deal with and that we're constantly talking about is in a studio, there are the filmmaking people and there are the marketing people, and they are two very different worlds. And really, at the end of the day, the marketing people are much cooler and far less concerned about themselves. And they just have this confidence that the rest of us don't. Because also we, like the creative execs on the film side and us, we'll work on a project for 4 years. That's 125 minutes long. They knock out 125 minutes of material every freaking day. They're just banging stuff out, and they operate at a speed. They dress cooler than us. They're just from a cooler world, but they do have this sad little element where they're trying to hold on to youth in a way that is kind of pathetic. And so that kind of like became the character. And once we discussed who that character was, we realized like Kathryn Hahn could just destroy at this. And not only would she destroy at it, but no one's ever seen her she's done a lot, but no one's seen her do exactly this. And it just, when she agreed to do it, it was like the ultimate
dream. She's just a dream person to have in the show.
Absolutely. I absolutely loved her character. And obviously this cast extends beyond the core sort of ensemble with so many of these fun cameos that we get. I'm curious if there was one that you were most excited to land or to work with.
I mean, the answer is so obvious. Yeah. It's just Martin Scorsese.
It has to be Martin Scorsese.
Just to this day, I'm just like, did that happen?
It was. He read the script and he really liked it and wanted to do it, and that was amazing because that we needed a filmmaker who could signal this like, oh, I'm going to make a really fancy movie and then I can turn it into Kool-Aid, and so he was really the only one who could sort of deliver all those things. He was incredibly funny, and then when getting him, we were able to get Charlize, who's a friend, to come and give one line, which to me, she gets the MVP from that standpoint. She literally came for a whole afternoon, did hair and makeup, came to the Roosevelt. She said, "Get the fuck out of here." And she's like, "Bye guys." And that was amazing.
But she'll play a card. We owe her something.
We're going to owe her something.
One day.
Sure. We don't know when
that shoe to drop.
But when we got Marty to do that, or Mr. Scorsese, we were then able to, we said, well, is there any other thing? I was like, well, what if we get Steve Buscemi to come? And that was really fun because we called his agent and we said, listen, we have this idea, and this is what the joke is, and he was really so open and game to do it. He flew from New Zealand to LA, stopped for that one scene, and then went on the next day to New York. So, and I think he did it for no other reason than Martin Scorsese. Had nothing to do with us, but he knew Marty would be there. So it all just comes back to Mr. Scorsese.
It was so good. I would watch that movie, the Jonestown movie. Is there a fake movie in this show that you would be most interested to watch?
That is the number one thing we talk about.
Yeah.
We got to make one of these movies. We legitimately talked about a Jonestown one, but just heard Bill Hader's doing some Jonestown.
Bill Hader already stole our thunder.
We might have done a Jonestown if not for Bill Hader. Bill. I like Alphabet City. I think Alphabet City by Ron Howard, starring Anthony Mackie and Davey Franco, would be an incredible movie. We have 3 scenes from it, and they're great.
Yeah. You already have the footage to get started, so might as well just complete the project. I feel like all of the episodes are so funny, but I think the one that got the biggest laughs for me is when they're trying to figure out the most inclusive, least offensive way to cast the Kool-Aid movie. And I feel like that sort of proves that you can actually joke about everything without punching down or being very horribly offensive. I know that's like a huge conversation today. Can you talk a little bit about how you approached that episode in that storyline?
I mean, like the core thing that we were playing with in the casting episode is that a lot of the time in Hollywood, people do not care if they are being appropriate in what they're saying or doing. They care if they are perceived as being appropriate. And that is like a real fundamental funny element to Hollywood, where it's like, they don't really care if they're being racist or sexist or offensive. They care if you think that. And as long as you don't think that, they don't care what's actually happening. And we've seen that happen so many times. And then there are people, obviously, most people care greatly and put a lot of thought into it. And it's just crazy to watch these conversations because like you cast humans in these roles and you have to be like, well, do we have the right ratio of these people? Is it okay to even have this conversation about ratio?
Yeah, absolutely. I just played so funny. I would love to see more of these characters in this world. I'm curious if you have talked about potentially doing a second season, and if so, what direction you could envision it sort of going in.
We don't get to decide. There's a giant corporation in Cupertino called Apple that gets to decide if we get to make a second season. So we'd love to. That seems like it was really a fun show to make and fun to be. Seth, Evan, and I hadn't made something, the 3 of us, where they were directing and I was producing, just that we're really focused on in a long time. So it'd be great to get a chance to do that. I think the way that the guys conceived of the show, where it's very episodic and each sort of episode has its own story, kind of beginning, middle, and end, does leave room for like us to keep going and do more. So we definitely have a lot of ideas for what those episodes could be. I
guess it comes down to like the ratings on Apple Plus.
Yeah,
give us 5 stars.
Give us exactly.
Enough people give us 5 stars.
Those
We're coming
thumbs
back.
up on Apple TV Plus. That helps us out. We got to find out what happened with the Kool-Aid movie. We don't know.
I'm on pins and needles. My last question is: there's so many intricate scenes with the blocking and the choreography and even stunts sort of integrated into that. And I'm sure there were days going in that you knew were going to be very challenging. I mean, the second episode with the long shot, I feel like is just very obvious. But was there one scene that sort of presented some surprising challenges for you that you didn't quite anticipate?
Yes, not one scene, 2 episodes. Vegas was a real situation. The fact that we finished is absolutely mind-blowing to all of us because we had scenes like with Bryan Cranston eating an ice cream cone by the Venetian River where we were told, you guys have 45 minutes and then you're out. And it's a casino. Like there's no haggling.
They don't care about what we're doing. They just need to gamble.
Yeah, they're like, these craps tables will make us more money in the next 2 hours than what you've paid us to film in this room. So you have 45 minutes, the end. And we have people in the background we don't control walking around, drunk Vegas people, and we have to do a stunt with a boat, and all the actors are in high heels, which I highly regret. It was.
Oh, there's Kathryn Hahn. No.
And they're just running. Everyone's running nonstop. So the whole Vegas thing was a wild, manic experience that I am shocked worked out.
And that's just the production. We also lived in a casino for 10 days. I mean, that had its own stories. And the fact
11 days. Don't cut it short.
11 days. One of those days bleeds into the other. So I don't think I slept. So that's why I say 10.
That's so valid. Well, I could pick your brain about this all day, but I unfortunately have to wrap. But again, congratulations on the show. And I hope to hopefully see more in a season 2.
Thank you.
Right on.